Hello students, this is Nitin Dikshit, your subject teacher of network security. So in today's lecture, we discuss about the block cipher and steam cipher. So the first question is here arise, what is cipher? So as I told you in the previous lectures that in cryptography, the plain text is converted into the ciphertext. So the conversion of plain text into the ciphertext may be in the two forms. First one can be converted in a block. So the block cipher is generated. If it can be converted into a stream, then stream cipher is generated. So here we discuss about the block cipher and stream cipher, that how many schemes are defined here, how it works, and all the things. So let's start with today's lecture, that is lecture number 5. So here are the outlines of today's lecture. First one are the learning outcomes. After that, introduction to the block and stream cipher. Then difference between the block and stream cipher. Then use of both cipher. How many encryption schemes used. Then exercise and little bit of references. Now, after completion of this lecture, you are able to define that a particular encryption scheme is using a block cipher technique or a stream cipher technique. What are the basic principles that are using in both technique, where these are used, what are the advantages, and so on. Now, let's start with the block cipher. As its name implies, block cipher. So a particular block is defined for transmission. So a block cipher takes a block of plain text and generates a block of ciphertext, generally of the same size, but the size may be differ depend on the type of encryption scheme we are used. Okay, but the basic mainly or generally the size of the block is fixed in every given scheme. So the size of the block does not directly affect the strength of the encryption scheme, because the strength of the cipher is depend only on the key length, that what is the key we are using. Okay, so in block cipher we get a block. We just input the block of plain text and we get the output of block cipher. Now, this is the basic scheme of the block cipher, in which you can see in this diagram that block of plain text is defined here, an encryption key is defined here, encryption process is there, and we get the block of ciphertext. So in this diagram, the block is of same size as block of the plain text. Okay. Now, what are the blocks? So first thing is block is here. So which type of block we used, what a block can be, what should be the block size, that is the main aspects of this ciphertext. So come to the block size. First one is that avoid very small block size. Why? Because if the very small size block is will be taken, then for that we have to define or padding more bits to create a full block. So all we can say, a block size is of m bits, then the possible plain text bits combination are maybe 2 to the power m, because m bits are defined. So if the attacker discover the plain text block corresponding to the previously sent ciphertext block, then the attacker can launch a type of dictionary attack. So many attacks are there. One of the attacker type is dictionary attack. So by this attack, he just create a dictionary of the plain text and ciphertext pairs. And by this, he maybe decrypt your ciphertext in the plain text. So we have to avoid using very small block size, and we have to generally use a medium-sized block in a block cipher. Now, do not have very large block size, because with a very large block size, the cipher becomes inefficient to operate, because the encryption algorithms which are using for block cipher, they takes the block size of appropriate length. Maybe it can be of a 64 bit, maybe of 32 bit, maybe of 128 bit, but not more than that. So we have to do not take a very large block size. Or also the for if we taking a very large block size, then plain text will needed to be padded before being encrypted. We have to pad them. After that, third one is the multiple of 8 bits. So as I told you that the encryption algorithm takes the plain text in the block size of 32 bit, 64 bit, 128 bit, always in a multiple of 8 bits. So a preferred block size is a multiple of 8, and it is easy for implementation in most computer processes or most encryption algorithm that handles data in the multiple of 8 bits. Now, what is the padding in block cipher? Padding is the main thing, because I just told you. So, for any encryption process in which we are using a block, or we are using a block cipher, so there is a fixed size of block is defined, and maybe it is possible that our plain text is not that much of fixed size. The length of the plain text may be differ, or it may be uh, uh, not as the size of the which is defined by the encryption algorithm. So the length of the plain text is mostly not in the multiple of block size. So we will have to pad some more bits to make it a block. For example, if a 150-bit plain text provided two blocks of 64 bit each, then the third block balance is 22 bits, because 64, 128, and for 150 bit, 22 bits are remain. So last block of bits needed to be padded with the uh, some redundant information, so that the length of the final block is equal to the block size of the scheme. So we have to added a 42 redundant bits to provide a complete block. So this process of adding an additional bit into the uh, plain text data is referred to as a padding, or it is known as the padding. Okay. Now come to the block cipher schemes. There are so many block cipher schemes are defined, in which some of are here. First one is the DES. These all are the encryption schemes. We just provide, we just create and provide a plain text to all these schemes, and we get the cipher text. So all these schemes uses the block cipher principle or block cipher. Now, first one is the DES, that is called Digital Encryption Standard or Data Encryption Standard, in which uh, a broken block cipher is defined. It is developed in the 1990. We will discuss all these schemes very deeply in our coming lectures. Okay. After that, second one is the triple DES. It is the simple version of the DES scheme, in uh, which is based on the repeated DES application. So in this scheme, there is a respected block cipher, but insufficient compared to the new faster block cipher available. Okay. After that, third one is the AES, that is called Advanced Encryption Standard, and it is a new block cipher principle based on the encryption algorithm, uh, which is known as uh, uh, Dijknadyl. Dijknadyl encryption algorithm is defined in AES, and we are using a block of plain text in this. After that, IDEA is defined. So in IDEA, it is a very strong block cipher scheme in which a block cipher size of 64 bits is used and a key of 128 bit is used, and we are getting an output of 64 bit of data. So here in this scheme, in this block cipher scheme in IDEA, we are just taking the plain text of 64 bit. We just get the cipher text of 64 bit, but we are using a key size of 128 bit. That is much more important, because by using a 128 bit size of key, our cipher text is much more stronger. Okay. So number of application using IDEA encryption scheme, including uh, PGP protocol, that is pretty good privacy protocol, and it is not used by everybody or any user, because it is a patent encryption scheme. Okay. After that, two fish is one more scheme. So this scheme of block cipher uses a block size of 128 bits and key may be of variable length. Okay. And it is based on the earlier cipher blowfish, one more technique, which uses a block size of 64 bit. Then serpent is the last one, in which block size of 128 bit and key size is also of 128 bit, 192 bit and 250 bits can be used for creating a uh, for creating a cipher block. So these schemes are used in the block cipher. Now come to the stream cipher. So what is stream cipher? As its name implies, stream. So stream cipher is a systematic cipher where plain text digits are combined with pseudo-random cipher digit stream, or we can say it is a key stream. So what happened in stream cipher? A particular plain text is combined with the pseudo-random key stream and create a cipher text. Okay. So in this scheme, a single bit, or we can say a single digit, is encrypted at one at a time with the corresponding digit of key stream. So for a single digit, a single key is defined and a single digit cipher text is generated in the stream cipher. Okay. Now how? As you can, this is the single example of stream cipher in which you can see there is a plain text is defined and there is a cipher stream is defined. This cipher stream is the pseudo random key generation. A pseudo random key is defined. You can take anything for it. It can be anything. So what we are doing here in this cipher, in this stream cipher scheme, we just take the plain text and we just take the cipher stream and XORing both the digit, XORing both the plain text and the cipher stream. Then what will be the answer? Then it's, as you can see here, 0 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 1. So as in this way, we just get all the answer. So because XORing are there, and here it is also defined bits are different, so the result is 1, and bits are same, so the result is 0. So this is used in the stream cipher. So for in this scheme, for every digit, a key stream key cipher stream is defined or a key stream is defined, but by the applying some any function, it may be XORing, it may be a hash function, or it may be any function. Which function is applied on both of the both digit, and after that we get the cipher text. So this is basically the function of stream cipher. Now, stream cipher schemes. So there are so many stream cipher schemes in which some of these are defined here. So first one is the RC4. So RC4 is a stream cipher uh, which is used for encryption schemes and in which a stream of data is encrypted in this. Now, how? So why it is named RC4? Because it is developed by the Ron Rivest in 1987 and it is the most widely software stream cipher used in it nowadays. So all the encryption scheme which are very popular like SSL, secure socket layer, WEP, wireless wireless equipment uh, uh, network, and so it generates a key stream, and we are using and it's using the stream cipher in its function. Now, after that, RC6. So it is the revised version of RC4 in which the key stream is defined in different way. So as in the RC4 scheme, RC4 as in the RC4 stream cipher, the key length is defined. In RC6, the key length is different. So the block size is different, the key length is different. So in RC6, we are using a block size of, sorry, stream of 120, stream of 128 bit, and also the same as the key size. Now, after that, Salsa is one of the technique which are using the stream cipher. So and Sosmanic and Panama. So these two or three techniques in the last are patented. So we are not, we all the persons cannot use this scheme. So because of the patent issue. So but RC4 and RC6 are widely used as the steam cipher schemes. Now one more thing about the steam cipher that as I told you that stream cipher creates a pseudo random key stream. So it just uh, form a random seed value which uses a digital shift register. Why shift register? Because uh, when the plain text is uh, inserted into the function of encryption process, then the keys should be inserted in the same way. And both the key and the plain text digit are applied on the function scheme and by that so that they create the ciphertext. So stream cipher represent a different approach for the symmetric encryption. So it is different from the block cipher. Now, block cipher operates on a large scale, means on a large block with so many digits and with the fixed amount of plain text data. But in stream cipher, it is not defined. So in stream cipher, it is not necessary that the plain text and the amount of the plain text data should be fixed. It can be variable. Okay. So there are so many types of stream cipher are also defined. First one is the synchronous stream cipher. So in a synchronous stream cipher, a stream of pseudo-random digit is generated, which is independent of the plain text and ciphertext message. So any digit can be generated by using a stream cipher. And both the digits are combined to create a ciphertext. As I told you in the previous example, so this may be a type of synchronous stream cipher in which a cipher stream, any cipher stream may be generated for creating a ciphertext. Now, after that, second one is the self-synchronizing stream cipher. What is self-synchronizing stream cipher? So this is the different approach in which which using a which is, can be a asynchronous stream cipher. So the advantage of this cipher is that the receiver will automatically synchronize with the key stream generator after the receiving n ciphertext digit. So when the receiver receives the a particular amount of ciphertext digit, then it is easily synchronized with the sender that what the stream cipher or what the uh, uh, cipher stream is generated at the sending side. So based on this, the two types of are there now. So for stream cipher, so many all schemes are there. As I told you, these Panama, uh, uh, Sosmank, Salsa, RC4, RC6, and one more, Snow, Sober, TVM, West, Bake. So many schemes are there which are defined in the stream cipher. So basically, the difference is in both the scheme is that in block cipher, a particular block of data is inserted in the encryption process, and in stream cipher, a stream of plain text is inserted, which combined with uh, the cipher stream and create the ciphertext. So these are the basic. This is the basic difference between the block cipher and stream cipher. And so many schemes, encryption schemes are there, which uses the block cipher and stream cipher, or both the schemes may be used in that. So based on that, some exercises are also defined here. Then because in network security, or we can say, or in the cryptography, uh, the algorithm which are we are using to create a ciphertext are very much important, because there are so many rounds are there in the encryption algorithm. The plain text block is fixed. We have to take the 128-bit block, 264-bit block, 32-bit block, that are fixed. So we have to uh, define and uh, learn all the things of that. So as in this exercise, you can see which of the following slows the cryptographic algorithm. Number of rounds, decrease in block size, decrease in key size, increase in sub-key generation. So think about it. I know I'm not giving you the answer. Just think about it. Which of the following slows the cryptographic algorithm? By which we judge the algorithm is going slow down. Obviously, the leave it. Number two, what are the number of possible 3 by 3 affine ciphertext transformation? If 3 by 3 affine ciphertext transformation is, then how many number of possible ciphertext can be generated into 3 by 3? Or you can say, if you can take a 3 by 3 matrix, then into 3 by 3 matrix, how many can be generated? You will find out. After that, if the key is defined here, this much, and the output of the SP network, SP is a particular network which is defined, then output of the SP network for the plain text will place. So plain text is defined here, 101 triple one triple 0 1. Then what if the key is there, and what is the ciphertext? So you have to define the ciphertext here. I think 0 1 1 1 1 1 1, right? So so in this way, you have to complete all this exercise and try to find out some more questions and some more multiple choice question on the stream and block cipher. So here our stream and block ciphers part is completed, because it is not much more. And after that, this lecture, in coming lectures, we will discuss. Now we will discuss about the uh, main encryption algorithms which are used in the encryption schemes or network security, which I defined you in the earlier, like RC4, RC6, DES, triple DES, AES, IDEA, two fish, blowfish. So many schemes are there. So in the coming lectures, we will discuss all these types of encryption scheme, how it works, and maybe possible. In the next lecture, we will discuss about the RSA. That is a very much important encryption algorithm, Reverse Shami Riddleman. So just wait for that. So this is all about in for today's lecture, in which we will discuss, and I hope You will understand what is the basic difference between the stream cipher and the block cipher, where we use the stream cipher and the block cipher, and all the things. So this is the reference and textbook for today's lecture. Reference book is the same. It's the William Stallings for cryptography and network security, and these are the references for the today's lecture. So thank you very much for listening my lecture, and uh, I hope you will you will get the interest in this subject, and it is a very interesting subject for study. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot.